I'm the Collector and welcome to Georgia Detours. We're going to have a spooktacular night tonight with all my undead friends at the Netherworld in Stone Mountain, Georgia. But first, let's see what my undead redneck friends are doing out in Camp Blood in Carrollton, Georgia.
Yo, come on down! Y'all the next contestants, so can I outrun the redneck with a chainsaw?
Oh, we've been doing this about 18 years now. We started out in the trail just like them.
Yeah, we started out as actors.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing.
When it opened,
A bunch of actors.
and we just did our own makeups and stuff. And
Started out with a barbecue. We come out just to have fun in a barbecue.
at a party.
That's what it turned out to be, and then we've excelled and kept going and kept going.
Well, it started out one year at a party at my house, and we had some friends come over, and we said, hey, you know, if y'all want to come to the party, you got to go through the woods to get there. And so that's what they did. They went through the woods to get there, and we had 2 people jumping out and scaring them. And then it just grew from that. All of a sudden, about the 3rd year we had 144 people at my house for a party. I said, we done, no more parties. So we decided we just do this, and that's all there is to it, no more parties.
Standing at the top, you can hear the chainsaws, you can hear the people just screaming everywhere, going crazy. And they come out, it can be 28 degrees back in the woods. Steam coming out of their mouth, they're coming out of there, peeling their shirts, their coats, dragging them behind them. They've been out, everybody's out of breath because they're just having a blast.
You see the people ain't gonna be scared or nothing like that, and they come running out of the woods and they done got wet somehow. I don't know how. I don't know if it fell in the lake or what, but that's what makes me do it. I love doing it. It's the craziest darn thing to see people act like an idiot when they get out here. You know, they ain't scared, and next thing you know, they gone.
There was one guy here, the clowns was chasing him, and he went up on the top of a hill, and he kind of TT'd on himself.
We've had them come out of the porta potty as they finished, soil themselves right outside the door.
That one almost hit me in the head with a flashlight one night. I come out of there and I was in costume, and she threw that flashlight back. I just backed off.
Hey, y'all here for the very first time? Don't be scared. Put your hand up. There we go. All right. Well, for those of you who've been here before and everything like that, we thank you for bringing us out some more victims. I mean customers. I gotta go over a few things with you before y'all make like horse poopy and hit the trail.
I love making them eat dirt. I made one girl last year slide from the top all the way to the bottom, face first.
Number 2, no eating and drinking, is I know you guys, y'all feel sorry for them poor little rednecks out there and want to go feed them and everything. But I'm going to tell you something. Look what happens when you try to feed a hungry redneck. Yeah, buddy, you can lose part of your fingers. I ain't kidding. That's right, buddy. Now I give them a cheeseburger on the end of a stick. Also, do not touch our rednecks. They will not touch you.
You have to be careful. Okay, you gotta stay an arm's length away from people when you do this usually, because if they get scared, automatic reaction is, or this.
All the way down, please.
Welcome you to Nightmares Inn. This is where your nightmares begin. Please watch yourself as you go in, and do have a safe night.
These movies that came out, Wrong Turn and stuff like that. Well, one day I was down here and a bunch of people come down and they was taking their time. We was closing and everything. Y'all come on down, hurry up. And everything, and what happened is they just kept on walking slow. And we was ready to go. I mean, it was already past midnight, and they pulled up at the last minute, and they walked all the way down the road down here. Finally, I come running down. Hey, y'all come on down. We watching Deliverance, and everyone turned around and left. So I said, that scared the heck out of people. You'd be surprised just what a pair of overalls will do to a city slicker. Boy, it'll turn them into a little bitty kid in a hurry. We got our cousins work out here. They do the makeup. They do, and thank God for them. Because this year, I was so wore out. I'm getting old. I'm 55 years old, man. I wore out. And thank goodness my cousins out here, and they've been working all year long since January to get this place ready to go for all the new folks coming out here to see us and all the people that's coming back. So it's a family-oriented place, and family work. All of our family works out here, or at least most of them. Some of them we can't have out here because you know how family members are. We don't like them. Place goes, everybody likes it. Everybody knows about it, they like it. Because we raise money for Children's Health Care of Atlanta to buy the kids their toys during Christmas. You know how much that means to a kid. Can you imagine being a kid in the hospital and not get a Christmas toy during Christmas? That's what happened to my wife. She had a bunch of surgeries when she was growing up, and Santa Claus didn't come by and see her, and it just hurt her feelings. So we decided we'd take another way of handling that, and now the kids get toys every Christmas. And we're proud of that.
Do you want a balloon? You're not scared of clowns, are you? Come on, you're not scared, are you? I'm gonna make your intestines into a little doggy balloon, and it's gonna go flat. Come on, let's play.
No clothes for you. You too.
It's almost a half a mile through there. You better wear your hiking shoes when you're out here to do this. So it's grown pretty good. If you go back and you go look at any of our films, if you look at our videos that we got on Facebook and on YouTube, stuff like that, it'll show you our very first year we did this. And you can see the difference when you go through now. It's a lot longer than it used to be.
Help me! Help me, please! Please, I don't know where he went! Help me! Take me with you! Please! No! I thought he was coming! Get out! Please take me! He's gonna kill you! Please take me with you!
Welcome to Uncle Freddy wants to. Come here, little girl. I said, come here. Where you going, little boy?
Get me some. I got my quarter tonight. It's coming up. I don't know where they're at. Y'all come on. I'm glad y'all made it. I'm getting really worried about y'all. Ooh, no, you. I know y'all seen somewhere back there. Y'all come on. Oh, man. Hey, they made it alive. I'm getting worried about them. Y'all watch out for our hog right there. Hey. What's he coming for?
I hope he doesn't intend on harming our country brethren. If so, we may have to pay half to visit. Now, follow me to my new home in Stone Mountain, Georgia. You'll love what we've done with the place. And you, my Georgia Detours friends, will get an exclusive look.
We moved to Stone Mountain because we finally found the perfect place. We've been looking everywhere, and we finally found this place. There's over 9.5 acres here. There's 70,000 square feet of building, and it's near the most popular tourist attraction in the state of Georgia. Everything about it worked for us, and we worked very hard to get this building. We had to go through a lot to buy it. It took a long time, but after this amazing search, we found our home.
We love this new building. We have so many more opportunities here than we had in our previous location. And our previous location was great, but we just outgrew it. And there's so much more we want to do. We have so much more parking here, so much more room. We have actual spaces where we could sit down and have an office now. Previously, we used almost every square foot of the space for haunted attraction or for getting ready for the haunts. And now, you know, we have escape rooms, we have a monster museum, we have meeting rooms for corporate events. It's just amazing.
Also, we've always striven to be different. Back when we started long ago, all the haunted houses were sort of the same. They had a Freddy room, they had a Jason room, they were all film-based. We wanted to be a unique story, a story we hadn't heard before. We're based more on things like mythology and literary sources. H.P. Lovecraft, for example, is a huge inspiration. The theme this year for our main show is called The Awakened. We create a huge backstory here. A lot of it is not evident in this year's theme, but we're laying the groundwork for years to come. In The Awakened, there's a creature called Argus of the Thousand Eyes. And long ago, Argus was trapped beneath the earth by the Illuminati and sealed up in a pyramid. And that's why they took that image as their symbol, because they were so proud of their victory over Argus. Well, Argus has escaped, and now he's resurrecting the dead by placing eyes in their foreheads, and he's creating this army of these mummified creatures with a single eye, and he can view out of each eye, and so he's emerging from below the mountain to seek his vengeance.
Long ago, over 2,000 years ago, Argus was imprisoned by Sononus. He caused a great lava flow which entrapped him in this mountainous rubble. But slowly, over 2,000 years, he began to shift and claw. And eventually, he will break free. And we, the Awakened, will be ready for him to consume this planet.
This year we have a character that's called Seekers, and there's, on a weeknight, about 12 of them. On weekends we can have up to 16 of them. And each one of those will get prosthetic like this for blocking out eyebrows, and then one that's like a tattoo, just kind of like a raised tattoo. We have a witch in the show, and actually a couple of witches. And so each one of those will get like a nose piece.
We have many costumers and effects people who work in the movie industry, or did years ago. Many of them have been with us since the very beginning, over 20 years. So they're not part of necessarily the recent boom. They were part of the boom way back, but they work with Netherworld all these years. And it's really fortunate for us because we can tap all these skills. A lot of them, they may go off and do movies and then come back and create characters for us. So anywhere we can grab talent, we will. I mean, just like we're getting props, just like we're building things, we're collecting. We can find great people, but you've only got this much time. Come on down, we'll get stuff done, and then you can go do your other thing, because it's a big collage of artists to create this attraction.
Last year, I worked on Black Panther and the first part of the Avengers, Infinity Wars. Worked on the TV show The Resident, Sleepy Hollow, Constantine. I actually just worked on Jungle Cruise that Disney's shooting in town at the moment. I think they just wrapped. If I had to pick between doing movies and TV or doing the haunted house, I think I would do the haunted house, just because there's more creativity.
Netherworld's been going for a very long time, and it took us a while, but we became a Halloween tradition here in Atlanta and the Atlanta area. And frankly, people travel here from all over the country and all over the world every year. We're very excited about this new location because we feel it brings back and preserves the classic things about Netherworld that people loved, but it's also got a lot of new stuff. We also have our House of Creeps Monster Museum. So people can get a taste of Netherworld year-round by going to the Monster Museum. They can look at stuff from years gone by of Netherworld. We have our Krampus display, we have classic monsters, we have oddities, so there's a lot of stuff in there for the connoisseur of horror. We're in Weisberg Cemetery. As you can see, amazing monuments. The carvers took the stone from the depths of the mountain and made some of the most amazing sculptures ever. But this place is haunted. The collector lurks here. He's somewhere in this cemetery, and he does not like people to come in here unless he's ready to collect their soul.
When you come to Netherworld, we have a myriad of different scares. Like if you continually just do your shock scares, that we call them, where somebody basically bursts through a curtain or something of that nature, you kind of get used to it. You know, if it's every room and there's a shock scare in every corner, you kind of become numb to that. So we utilize, we love camo scares. Those are the best. Those are my personal favorite. And the camo scare is when something appears to be, potentially inanimate, or something that's not going to move, and then it moves, and that works to great benefit because, you get a couple of good camo scares, and then you really do put in some inanimate objects, and everybody's like, "Is that going to jump out? That looks real. It's going to jump out. It's going to jump out," and it's not. But then the next thing, and they're like, "Oh, everything's cool here," and then something jumps out. So we have camo scares, we have shock scares, we have stunt scares, we have actors coming from everywhere, above, below. It's all about misdirection, really. If anybody becomes too comfortable in their environment, it ceases to become a mystery to them. So, the scares are not just our actors doing scares or our animatronics. It's about the environment, You go into one room and maybe it's a little better lit than the next room. The next room may be really dark. Maybe you go through a stretch where you're just walking on a concrete floor and then all of a sudden, something's changed. Maybe your brain doesn't really even perceive it, but the floors have changed. All of a sudden, you're walking in a graveyard.
We have some amazing year-round attractions here at Netherworld. It's mainly the escape games. We have 3 of them here. One of them is called Nosferatu. It's a vampire tale. It's set in the 1890s. And the unique thing about this escape game, in addition to gathering as a group to solve the mystery, you take the roles of different characters. So there might be people in your group that are kind of have different motivations than you do. We also have Haunted, which is a ghost lab where there's a night hag that's been trapped, that's been haunting your family. And if that night hag escapes, everyone's doomed, so you have to get rid of the night hag in 1 hour. And another one is Sasquatch, which is a Bigfoot theme. People love that one. You're trapped in a cabin in the woods and there's an angry critter out there. And you don't know why he's mad, but you better figure out what he's doing before the electric fence runs out of power.
Escape the Netherworld has garnered a reputation as being one of, if not the premier escape games in Atlanta. We have already been recognized by USA Today, and we are in the running right now for being one of the top 10 escape games in the country.
Hi.
Haunted houses of this magnitude just did not exist when we started. So the thought of getting to where we are today, it wasn't even on the radar. We wanted to do a good job and put out a quality product and not lose money, maybe make a little and have some fun. And it's all about doing what you love. I think that was pretty much the goal. It was like, we want to eat and we want to do things that we love to do. growing to the extent that we have, and being on national TV shows and on the Travel Channel and the Today Show and all this crazy stuff, like #1 rankings. There's a haunted attraction. I guess it's a trade magazine of sorts. It's called Haunt World, and a few years back they named us the #1 haunted house of all time, which is just kind of absurd. I don't even know how to take that. So no, there's no way we could have even envisioned being at this level, because it wasn't even an option. It wasn't conceivable at that time.
Haunting is in the blood, I think. It's one of those things that you either love to do it or you don't really care. It's just one of those things. I got the bug and just have done it my entire life. So you're either a haunter or you're not. And if you're a haunter for life. Nobody just gives it up and walks away from it, I don't think. I'll be 80 or 90 years old and still either doing makeup or something, or scaring kids off my front porch. Yeah, get off my lawn!
Netherworld is really a unique creature. We have so many people that are involved to make this thing happen on so many levels, not the least of which are our actors, who we affectionately call the Nether Spawn. We have about over 400 on staff. They don't all work on every single night, but they're really dedicated. We have some Spawn that have been here pretty much since our first year. It was 1998, I think. We started in 1997. We have several from the very, very early years, and they just make it great. They keep it fresh. They keep coming back. We must be doing something right.
Netherworld is not just one show. We always have at least two, and this year we have Subject Unknown. Now, Subject Unknown fills the gap of science fiction horror, while The Awaken is more traditional, more supernatural, more classical. The Subject Unknown is all the science fiction horror you can imagine. Feelings like shows from things like Aliens or Predator or Terminator or all of those kind of things is what we're presenting in Subject Unknown. The specific story of this attraction is that an alien virus has gotten loose. They were dissecting a gray, and now it's causing massive mutations, and all the other contained creatures have escaped.
I know this may have been more than you can handle, but if you're good, maybe we can have a spooktacular time in person. For now, I think it's time for me to go, my Georgia Detour friends. But just remember, when things go bump in the night, it might just be me collecting what's mine.
Join us next week as we look into the supernatural with my friend Boo Newell and with a parapsychologist at West Georgia University.
We guarantee you're going to come away with a whole new outlook about ghosts.
This is the face of somebody who just saw a ghost.
Huh?
I saw a ghost. I did.
I grew up in a Southern family that was great at telling stories. And I grew up with a slew of ghost stories, and I loved hearing them. but I was ambivalent about whether they were true or not. I'm still a little ambivalent, but I gotta tell you, when we moved into this house, we started hearing voices in the wall.
And they're still arguing, just like they did in the 1800s, about the house, the big house. Agnes keeps saying, "Where's my big house, Henry?" And we like to kid on the tour, the Decatur Ghost Tour, we like to say, now be careful what you promise somebody, because if you don't fulfill it, it could literally come back to haunt you. This is a case of that happening.
Are you bothered by all of us being here? No? Yeah, say yes or no. Go back and forth for no, up and down for yes. You're not bothered by us?
When you start getting into the literature and the theories on ghosts, even Frederick Myers in like 1903 said that ghosts are one of the most complicated phenomena that we have to understand. It's very, they're very nuanced, and sometimes I think we're talking about different things. And so from our initial analysis of our survey data, it looks like there's a family tree of ghosts, and they might have different etiologies.
Even with all of the things that have happened in this house, I'm still not, I wouldn't call myself a believer in ghosts, but I'm open-minded. And we do hear these voices, and we do see this puff of gray smoke that scoots around when it's scared. But I don't think I'm the person to be trying to convince people that ghosts really exist.
I think a lot of times they think that people don't believe them, or that they didn't have these experiences, or like Dr. Simmons more said, they feel like they're crazy, and I don't think they are.